Up next, we have Meredith Baker, who's the founder and CEO of Morabeza. Meredith. There you are. Hello. Your clicker and your timer, which will be turned to 3 minutes. There you go.
Okay, cool. I'm Meredith. I'm founder of Morabeza. So Morabeza comes from Cape Verde in West Africa. It has the sentiment of strangers are friends you haven't met yet, which comes to our tagline, meet a stranger, make a friend. In the age of healthier for you alcohols, there also calls for new occasions around social drinking, and that's what we aim to do at Morabeza. Social drinking for social impact with intentional social binding, or our core 3 pillars are drink smart, do good, and have fun. So for the drink smart part, I developed Morabeza out of a pain point. I'm a celiac, a 21-time marathon runner, and a yoga instructor, and as I said yesterday, I wanted a drink that could allow me to get lit and stay fit responsibly. So I hired Kathinka Laboratories in Fort Collins, run by Dogfish Head former brewmaster and our chemist Lauren, to develop a super refreshing 6% alcoholic kombucha. It's 0 grams of sugar, 4 grams of carbs, raw and gluten-free, with a green tea and honey base. Unlike other hard kombuchas who use fruit juices, we use herbs to keep our super light, having cues of kind of a more champagne feel. And I won't let necessarily our feedback speak for it, but rather we've tested it in places like South by Southwest, Google, YouTube, Lululemon, and my favorite feedback has been, I hate kombucha and I love this. So I like to say Morabeza is a gateway boot. When I was back in my hometown of Houston, I gave it to 70-year-old men drinking beer at a sports bar and who thought it was kombucha, and they put down their beer and came back for 3 or 4 servings. So that led me to believe we can actually play beyond the hard kombucha category and offer a more premium craft experience to something like White Claw. So the do-good component. I've done a lot of work on education in Africa, so once we launch, we're putting part of our proceeds to go to Lead Africa, sports academies in the region. Currently, I lead yoga every other Wednesday. That's sold out, and those proceeds go to Haiti partners. Beyond that, the have fun part, Morabeza is not just a drink, but actually a social movement. And we do sold-out yoga events, running, storytelling events, and aligned brand partnerships. A lot of people have come to me and said, Morabeza has given me a community in LA. This is something that we take very seriously and to heart, and we plan to expand on. So we have an awesome product, an awesome vision, and also an awesome team. We have Scott, who's our operations guru, who has been at E&J Gallo Winery and Pepsi as a senior operations manager. Our advisor, Bridget, who used to be VP of sales at Heineken, and our brand advisor, Nina, who used to do brand strategy for Diageo, is currently at IDEO and was also named Forbes 30 Under 30 this year. Nina, if you're watching, we're super proud of you. So we're launching in spring 2020 and doing a hyper-focused, inch-wide, mile-deep launch in LA to select on- and off-premise accounts to generate buzz first before going through a traditional distribution model. Thank you, and I hope I get to enjoy Morabeza with all of you.
Nicely done. Well done. Ryan, we have a growing category of hard kombucha. What do you think of Morabeza's chances? What do you think of their positioning within that category?
Well, the good news is you're early in the high alcohol kombucha category. The struggle is kombucha as a whole seems to be plateauing. So I think the challenge for every hard kombucha company right now is, can you push through what's happening in the low alcohol kombucha variants? That's going to be the issue, I think.
That's a great point. I would love to speak to that. In terms of our kombucha, I think we have tapped into a unique gateway position where we have cut down some of the vinegary taste, so people who don't like it or don't like kombucha typically actually do resonate with our product. And beyond that, a larger vision is not just to be a kombucha company, but a social impact alcohol portfolio where eventually we'll bring alcohols from around the world to a U.S. market and then reinvest in the local supply chain, having a first domestically produced product, which is our signature Morabeza alcoholic kombucha.
Mm-hmm. We have a screen up there. The slide says, the drink speaks for itself. Veronica, does it?
Yeah, I mean, I am like a self-described somewhat granola, individual, and I've made my own kombucha, and I definitely feel like kombucha as a whole has gotten away from the like more acidic kind of acetic aromas and kind of funky forward aromas, because like kombucha, when you first started drinking, it was like, I'm drinking this because it's good for me, not because I particularly like the taste. What I like here is the aroma is more herbal and it isn't funky, and then you get more of the acidic component of the kombucha. I just wonder, when it comes to extending the brand into other flavors, like, are you going to go more towards different flavors or different additional benefits, or is the probiotic benefit like where you're going to focus from a benefit standpoint?
From a benefit standpoint, definitely the probiotics. I think something else that we'll look at in the future is also different, like teas that have other properties. What we want to do for different flavor SKUs is other alcohol profiles, like a whiskey cask or a smoky mezcal, but staying true to our thesis of using herbs and teas to bring about the flavor instead of juices.
Got it.
Marty, we're running out of time, but do you have any thoughts about today's presentation and any questions you might have?
Yeah, the last seconds was impressive that you were able to fit in, how you're going to market. I'd like to see, or need to see, more of that thought process, because I think you're working within a very small ecosystem of people you know, people you trust, people that like this, but that I don't believe would sustain this brand outside of that ecosystem to go broader. So have to see, what kind of profits per case you're trying to give to distributors. And same question as before, what's your value proposition to me as a distributor? I already have kombuchas.
Right. So we're more of an experiential brand as well, in addition to having a great product. And right now, our goal is to there are a lot of founder-led brands in other categories like Glossier in the makeup space or Outdoor Voices, and we genuinely want to be a brand that lives our brand and goes along on those rides with distributors as well, to start with a more hyper-local feel and a grassroots approach, and then expand out large from there. Our tactic isn't to go as quickly as possible and beat other hard kombuchas to a Whole Foods in Kansas. It's to really build a loyal brand following and then let the growth happen from there.
Any last questions? We have about 10 seconds.
Do you have to use cold chain for this, or are you?
Cold chain is preferable. We've stress tested it. It can go for about a month and a half in warm environment, but obviously it's optimal when it's cold, and then can go 6 months and beyond.
All right, great stuff. Well done, Meredith.
Thank you.